Hi, my name is Muhammad Haikal bin Abdul Rahim. My metric number is 1220671 and I am from class KMB2. Today, I will present about individual tutorial problem question 7/35 under cost volume profit topics. Alright, I will read the problem question first. The problem is College Parks Company produced and sold 16,000 backpacks during the year just ended at an average price at $20 per unit. Variable manufacturing costs were $8 per unit and variable marketing costs were $4 per unit sold. Fixed cost amounts to $118,000 for manufacturing and $17,000 for marketing. There was no year and work in process inventory. Ignore income taxes. The first question is compute College Park's break-even point in sales dollar for the year. So before we find the break-even point, we must do the income statement first. So sales price, which is $20, will less the variable manufacturing cost, which is $8, and then we will less the variable marketing cost, which is $4. After calculation, we will get the amount of contribution per unit, which is $8. After that, the amount will multiply by 16,000, which is a number of units sold that we take it from the question. And then we will get total contribution, which is $418,000. The final step, we must less the amount with fixed cost, which is $252,000. After calculation, we will get the net income, which is $228,000. After we finish calculate for income statement, then we will find the break-even point in sales. So the formula for break-even point in sales is fixed expense divided by PV ratio. So the form of the question, there is no information about PV ratio. Because of that, we will find the PV ratio first. So the formula of PV ratio is contribution divided by sales per unit times 100. So we just add the amount of contribution from the income statement, which is $8, and the amount of sales, which is $20. After the calculation, we will get the 14%. After that, we can calculate the break-even point in sales, which is $252,000 per 0.40 equal to $630,000. Alright, now we will continue to question 2. So the question 2 is compute the number of sales unit required to earn a net income of 118,000 during the year. So we just use the formula break-even point in sales unit, which is fixed expense plus net income divided by contribution per unit. So we will get the amount of fixed expense for the question, which is 180,000 for fixed manufacturing cost plus 72,000 for fixed marketing cost equal to $252,000. And then we plus it with the net income, which is $180,000, and then divide it with $8, which is contribution per unit that we take it from the income statement. After that, after the calculation, we will get the 54,000 units. Alright, so the third question is College Park's variable manufacturing costs are expected to increase by 10% in the coming year. So we just use the same income statement for the first question, but changing it in variable manufacturing costs due to incremental of 10%. So after the incremental, the new amount of manufacturing cost is $8.80. So the amount of contribution per unit will change to 7.20, and then we multiply the amount with 16,000 equal to 432,000, which is total contribution. After that, we will less it with fixed cost, which is 252,000, and then we will get the amount of net income, which is $180,000. Now we will continue to find break-even point in sales. So the formula is same. So to find the break-even point in sales, we must find the PV ratio first. So the PV ratio first formula is contribution per sales times 100. So the contribution amount, we just find it from the previous calculation, which is 7.20. And then says we take it from the question, which is 20 times 100. And then after the calculation, we will get the 36%. So after we get the PV ratio, then we can find the break-even point in sales. So the fixed expense is 252,000, and then the PV ratio is 0.36. After divided, we will get the amount which is $700,000. So the last question is, if College Park's variable manufacturing costs do increase by 10%, compute the selling price that will yield the same contribution margin ratio in the coming year. So to do this question, we must use the PV ratio formula. So the question given want to maintain their contribution margin ratio in the coming year. So we just using our PV ratio for the previous question, which is 14%. So as you can see, 14% equal to sales minus variable expense divided by sales. So we know the variable expense amount, which is 12.80. So after we simplify it, we get the sales equal 12.80 divided by 16. So after the calculation, we will get the $21.33 per unit. So therefore, selling price must be fixed at $21.33 to yield the same contribution margin.